Welcome, friends. In this session, let us see about the basic concepts of fungi and their economic importance. Fungus is a Latin word which means mushrooms. It includes a group of eukaryotic organisms that include microorganisms such as yeast and molds. The discipline of biology devoted to the study of fungi is known as mycology. Fungi are non-vascular plants that do not contain chlorophyll. Their mode of nutrition is heterotrophic, which means they cannot prepare their own food and they depend upon the other organisms or substratum for their nutrition. Here we find the image of a mushroom, which is an example of fungi. Fungi acquire their food by absorbing dissolved molecules, typically by secreting digestive enzymes into the environment. The plant body will secrete the digestive enzymes into the substratum on which they live, and thereby the nutrients that are present in the substratum is diverted to the fungal body. Fungi do not photosynthesize because they do not contain chlorophyll. They live as saprophytes, which means they can live on dead organic matter, or as parasites, where they produce certain damage or infections to the host on which they live, or as symbionts, where the two organisms are mutually benefited. The body of the fungus is known as thallus, and it may be single or filamentous. In this image, we find the septate and the aseptate fungi. The hyphae, where there are partitions, are known as septate, and where there are no partition, we say it is aseptate. Fungi are chemoorganotrophic microorganisms. With the help of certain organic chemicals, they will be able to synthesize their food. Therefore, chemoorganotrophic. Most fungi are inconspicuous, which are not visible to the naked eye because of the small size of their structures and their cryptic lifestyles. Cryptic lifestyle is they camouflage into the environment or media in which they live. The color of the fungi that lives on wood may be of wood color. That which lives on a dead or decayed organic matter may take the color of that particular organic matter. And they live on soil or on dead matter. The optimum temperature for the growth of fungus is between 20 to 30 degrees centigrade, but they can withstand very low temperatures. Fungi perform an essential role in the decomposition of organic matter. So when the animals or the plants, when they die, they are decomposed with the help of the fungi and have a fundamental role in the nutrient cycling and the exchange in the environment, such as they participate in the nitrogen and the phosphorus cycle. Fungal mycelia can become visible to the naked eye when they grow on the surfaces and substrates such as a damp wall and a spoiled food, where they are commonly called as the molds. We may find the growth of the fungi particularly on damp or spoiled food. For example, the fungus that grows on a bread. We may find gray, black or white color patches on the surface of the bread that indicates the growth of the fungi. The filamentous body of the fungus is called as mycelium. The thread-like filamentous body is called as mycelium. Each filament of the mycelium is called as the hypha. The mycelium can be divided into vegetative mycelium, which grows into the medium, that is the substrate on which they live, and the aerial mycelium, which projects from the surface, which is visible above the decayed or the spoiled food. Here we find the mycelium that are present in the substrate found below, and the fruiting body or body which is found above the substrate. The protoplasm contains cell organelles. All the cell organelles are present, like the nucleus, mitochondria, Golgi body are present in the fungus. Fungi are sedentary and immobile. They cannot move. They reproduce by asexual and sexual methods. Asexual reproduction occurs through vegetative spores called as the conidia or through the mycelial fragmentation. And the sexual reproduction takes place with meiosis, which has been directly observed in almost all fungal phyla. We can find the formation of conidiospores. The conidiospores are liberated, they germinate, form the hyphae, and they form the plant body. In this image, we may find the balloon-like structures which are called as the sporangium that forms the sporangiophore. The spores are liberated, which germinate when the environment is conducive. This is the life cycle, where there is formation of spores which germinate to form the mycelia and the primordia which grows into the fruiting body. Let us now look into the economic importance of fungi. Fungal food. There are around 200 species of edible fungus. Example, mushroom. The different types of mushrooms we relish are also fungus. Edible mushrooms include the commercially grown variety and the wild harvested fungi. These are a few examples of the edible mushrooms. Let us now see the uses of mushrooms. Yeast is also a fungus. The baker's yeast or the Saccharomyces cerevisiae, a unicellular fungus, is used to make bread and other wheat-based products such as pizza dough and dumplings. They are used widely in the baking industry. They cause the dough to rise and make the bread light and spongy. Yeast species of the genus Saccharomyces are also used to produce alcoholic beverages through fermentation. Shoyu koji mold, Aspergillus oryzae, is an essential ingredient in brewing the soy sauce called as shoyu. And sake. Sake is an alcoholic beverage that is produced by the fermentation of rice and the preparation of miso. Miso is a fermented soybean product that is used for garnishing, and this is used for garnishing particularly in Japan. Rhizopus species are used for making tempeh, which is an Indonesian food prepared from soybean. This is something similar to the paneer which we use. This is the process of soy sauce preparation. Soybean are steamed and flaked. Wheat is roasted and ground. They are combined together, to which Aspergillus oryzae is used. Aspergillus oryzae is a fungus. This is used for fermentation. Sodium chloride or salt is dissolved in water and it is added to this mixture. They are thoroughly mixed and mashed, and fermentation is brought about by Aspergillus oryzae. It produces lactic acid fermentation and alcohol fermentation, and after which it is allowed to age. which means it is left undisturbed for quite some time. After the aging process, the mixture is pressed and the extract that is obtained is pasteurized and bottled, which we use as the soy sauce. Agaricus bisporus are sold as the button mushrooms when they are small, or the portobello mushrooms when they are large. This is the most widely cultivated variety. Certain type of cheese require inoculation of the milk curd with the fungal species that impart a unique flavor and texture to the cheese. Examples include the blue color streaks that are produced in cheese, such as the Stilton or the Roquefort cheese, which are made by inoculation with Penicillium roqueforti. Molds used in cheese production are non-toxic and are safe for human consumption. We find here the cultivation of mushroom, the white colored portion of the mushroom which are harvested and they are used in various preparation. These are edible and this is high in protein. We find here the Roqueforti cheese that is prepared by incorporating Penicillium roqueforti. The blue color streaks that are present in this cheese is due to Penicillium roqueforti fungi, and this has a very unique flavor. Medicines are also prepared from fungi. Several antibiotics have been obtained from fungi. The most popular is the antibiotic penicillin that was prepared from Penicillium notatum. Other antibiotics produced by fungi include cyclosporin, commonly used as an immunosuppressant during transplant surgery. Transplant surgery is organ transplantation and in procedures like that. Fusidic acid, used to help control infection from methicillin-resistant Staphylococcus aureus bacteria. We find here Penicillium notatum, from which the famous antibiotic penicillin was extracted and was very popular for several decades. Other drugs produced by fungi include grisofulvin, isolated from Penicillium grisofulvum, used to treat fungal infections. Statins, the HMG-CoA reductase inhibitors, used to inhibit cholesterol synthesis, have also been isolated from fungi. These drugs are useful for patients having hypercholesterolemia, that is, increased lipids in their blood. Examples of statins found in fungi include mevastatin from Penicillium citrinum and lovastatin from Aspergillus terreus and the oyster mushroom. The shiitake mushroom is a source of lentinan, a clinical drug approved for use in cancer treatments in several countries, including Japan. These are some of the alcoholic drinks that have been prepared by the fermentation produced by fungi, particularly yeast. Many mushroom species are poisonous to humans and cause a range of reactions, including slight digestive disorders like diarrhea, vomiting, or nausea, and allergic reactions, hallucinations, sometimes even severe organ failure and death. Genera with mushrooms containing deadly toxins include Conocybe, Galerina, Lepiota, and the most infamous Amanita. So these poisonous fungi, they are not edible and they should not be consumed. These are a few examples of the poisonous mushrooms. In this section, we saw the general characteristic features of fungi and also their economic importance. We also saw about the edible and the non-edible fungi. Thank you.